Good morning. I'm Jasmine Anderson. A search right now for the two gunmen behind a terrifying Nassau home invasion. Police say the men armed with long guns broke into a home on Normandy Drive in Bethpage through a basement window. It happened around 2 yesterday morning. We're told they tied up a man and woman, both 62 years old, in their bedroom, then went through the home. It's unclear what was taken. No one was hurt. The NYPD and the Shirley community are mourning the loss of an officer killed on his way to work. Clifford Saintville died early yesterday morning, according to the PBA. His car crashed into a tree near exit 13 on the Southern State Parkway in Valley Stream. The 32-year-old was an officer in the 113th Precinct in Jamaica, Queens. The cause of the crash is under investigation. A fallen FDNY firefighter from Long Island was just honored. Steve Langford reports in Brooklyn.
Please unveil the plaque.
Dedicating a line of duty plaque for an FDNY firefighter from Islip.
Dedicated to the memory of firefighter William P. Moon II, Rescue Company 2, who made the supreme sacrifice.
Veteran firefighter Billy Moon died on a training exercise in this Brooklyn firehouse 5 days before Christmas 2022.
Today we remember him, but that's the easy part because he is unforgettable.
Moon leaves behind a wife and 2 young children, along with a powerful legacy of giving in life and in death.
Billy's heart still beats, his lungs still breathe air, and his liver still functions today in the walls of this firehouse.
The donation of firefighter Moon's organs has saved the lives of 5 people, including 2 retired firefighters from the FDNY.
We will be forever grateful to Billy for giving us a second chance at life.
Moon also volunteered at the Islip Fire Department, where the chief calls him a legend.
Seeing the recipients of his organs that are still living on thanks to Billy, it's just been a nice light at the end of a very dark tunnel, and it makes us feel a lot better knowing that he didn't die without purpose to continue on.
Moon's children issued a loving order by the captain of Rescue Company 2.
You guys got to promise me for the rest of your lives, you got to shout Dad's name out and tell his story to whoever will listen and even to who won't listen, because the world needs that story. The world needs to know about Dad.
A salute for the sacrifice of a Supreme and his family. Moon's wife, a former reading teacher, closing with a quote from Dr. Seuss.
Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. And I personally think we should all smile a little wider because Billy happened. I know I do.
Steve Langford for NewsdayTV.
You can read more on the dedication. Just click Get More below the NewsdayTV video box on our homepage. Get ready to pay more to enter New York from New Jersey. A 63-cent hike went into effect yesterday for bridges and tunnels linking the city and New Jersey. Cars and trucks without Easy Pass will now pay $17.63. Good news for city commuters. Subway service has been fully restored on the 1, 2, and 3 trains. On Thursday, a train full of passengers hit an out-of-service train, causing a derailment and injuring 20 people. Alleviating parking problems in Hicksville, Oyster Bay Town is looking to use eminent domain to seize the properties on the north side of Herzog Plaza to create more parking, public that is. It's currently the site of an auto repair shop, hair salon, and tire store. A public hearing is set for tomorrow. A second push for a 48-unit apartment complex near a super site in Port Jefferson Station. Despite opposition, a developer filed paperwork with Brookhaven Town to change zoning laws. They're looking to build the Brook Meadows complex near the former Lawrence Aviation. 3 civic associations rejected the project last fall. The proposal will be discussed at a Port Jefferson Civic Association meeting tonight. Long Islanders are in for a treat. Wetzel's Pretzels is coming back to town. The nation's second largest pretzel chain is opening locations at the Green Acres Mall in Valley Stream and inside Macy's at Roosevelt Field Mall in Garden City. Wetzel's had a location at the Sunrise Mall. Our first snow totals are in for the 2024 season. Most places saw dusting. Calverton received the most snow on the island 1.2 inches, according to the National Weather Service. Another storm without the chance of snow is forecasted to hit the island tomorrow, bringing heavy rain and powerful wind gusts. So let's talk about it. Checking out your hyper-local forecast today. Sunny today, highs around 40 degrees. Let's look at your day planner. Our tonight lows in the 20s, so make sure you layer up. Tomorrow, rain and wind return with highs around 48 degrees. And here's a look at your futurecast. Heavy rain returns Tuesday afternoon into the evening. Again, we are watching the storm. We have our eye on a potential storm, this one without snow. A look at your 7-day forecast coming up.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Home Tax Saver, PTRC Incorporated.
As migrants continue to pour into the U.S., our state is scrambling for solutions. Macy Egland and Yancey Roy have the story you'll see only in Newsday.
Migrants are crossing the border into the United States at what's being called unprecedented numbers. Busloads of people ending up here in New York. Yancey Roy, Newsday's Albany bureau chief, has been covering the issue. There are politics at play here, Yancey, but what could be done and what's been in the works to find a place for all of these people?
Well, there's a possible middle ground politically that would involve several aspects of the immigration question. It could involve, say, more money for tighter security at the border, which is what some Republicans would like. They would like more work visas and more of a pathway to a green card status for some immigrants, as some Democrats would like. There's popular support in general for those sorts of initiatives. But the difficulty is we're hitting 2024 when the presidential election is up, when congressional elections are up, and it makes the bargaining all that more difficult.
Right. I mean, this has been an ongoing issue. Is that kind of what's been preventing real progress in this?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's an issue that's been used in political campaigns, and folks are saying the Republicans, well, they've been very out front and saying they do want to use this as a political issue coming up in the elections and make it a top issue. So if you're making it your top issue, it's hard to see room for a lot of compromise, at least this point in the calendar.
This is largely a federal issue, but what's been happening lately here in New York to deal with this influx of people?
Well, in the city, the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, made some legal changes to try to deter buses from arriving so frequently with migrants. But in fact, all that did was have the buses stop in New Jersey, drop off passengers who eventually made their way to New York. He and Kathy Hochul have been asking for more resources to help with jobs, to help with housing. But beyond that, they correctly point out that immigration is largely a federal issue.
So an ongoing issue, something you'll be keeping your eye on and covering. Thank you, Yancey, for your time.
Read more about the surge of migrants in New York on Newsday.com. Just click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Now a focus on education. We're looking at the top issues for schools in the year ahead. Sherry Einhorn has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
Students are settling back into school for the start of 2024, and as the year progresses, educators are tackling some new topics.
For the actual Create task, you can use AI for pieces of it.
What is the role of artificial intelligence in the classroom?
I'm having a really hard time, say, debugging the code, or just like, I know there's a problem, but I can't figure out exactly where the problem is. I can throw the code into an AI software like ChatGPT, and it can help me to pinpoint where the error is.
Finding a balance between helping and cheating is key, according to school officials, and that will take training.
So the important thing is really having a better understanding of its power and how it can be used to enhance learning and how it can assist teachers in teaching, but more importantly, the responsible use of it.
Also coming up, a review of Regents exams and the role they play in graduation requirements. A state advisory commission recommended the weight of the Regents be reduced and other performance-based assessments be included, like long-term projects. No immediate action is expected, though.
I think exams always have a place. I don't think exams should be gatekeepers, because one assessment device kind of demeans the instructional process. We're always looking at different ways in which we want kids to express their understandings, their learnings, their interests, right?
Ready? Districts are also up against a deadline to decide how and where they're spending their federal COVID pandemic recovery money if they haven't already. It has to be earmarked by September 30th and spent within the next year. In Middle Country, the $1.5 million was used to hire a dozen teachers. District officials say they now have to find that money somewhere else.
We're going to figure out how to do it one way or the other. We're going to figure, because our kids need it.
In Center Reach, I'm Shari Einhorn for Newsday TV.
Read more about the biggest issues facing Long Island schools on Newsday.com. Just click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Get in the game with Newsday. The best team of sports reporters and columnists bring you in-depth analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and news from inside the locker room. Get in the game when you subscribe to Newsday, your destination for total sports coverage at newsday.com/sports.
I'm Jasmine Anderson. Thank you so much for watching on this Monday. We'll leave you with a look at your hyperlocal 7-day forecast.